Hail, fellow travelers. Tim from Secret Fire Books here with another book haul. This is probably going to be my last book haul for the month of July. I'm assuming it will be. I am going to Pulp Fest in August, so I have the chance to buy a lot of vintage books and pulps and stuff like that. I actually have a big chunk of money set aside for that specific occasion. So after the 10th of August, I will be bringing home a bunch of books for a nice, big, proper book haul to show you guys. Until then, I have this nice, short little stack here to tide us over. Most of these are books that I bought at the thrift store recently. Some are gifts, and a couple of them are books that were donated to my family's children's consignment shop. Someone recently turned in a big box of books for donation. Unfortunately, most of them were in pretty bad condition, not good enough condition to put out on the sales floor, so I ended up taking home a few of them. The first one was a copy of Charlotte's Web by E.B. White. I've never actually read this book, despite the fact that I've seen both movies multiple times when I was a kid. And yeah, I think E.B. White is the same author who wrote Stuart Little, speaking of movies that I watched a lot as a kid. And then we also have Hoot by Carl Hyacin. This was also a movie back in the day. I think I only saw that movie once. The only thing I remember about it was that it takes place in Florida, and that it has some of those wacky Floridian redneck tropes going on. But that is not the last film tie-in kind of book that we have. In fact, that's going to be a running theme for the rest of this haul. Next, I have 5 books that were given to me by my dad, Tim Sr. He was actually at a yard sale recently, and he picked up 5 Star Trek novels for, I think he said 25 cents a piece, which is awesome. So that was very nice of him to look out for his son and share some corny Star Trek novels with him. These are actually Star Trek The Next Generation, which I will be getting into soon. I'm almost done with my watch-through of Star Trek The Original Series. So I will be getting into TNG, as the fans call it, sometime soon. And so I'll have to check out the novels as well. This first one is Star Trek The Next Generation number 2, The Peacekeepers. This was written by Jean Deweese. Next, we have Star Trek The Next Generation number 13, The Eyes of the Beholders. This was written by A.C. Crispin. Oh yeah, I had to look on the spine because the top of the book was clipped. This is number 26, The Romulan Prize, written by Simon Hawke. Star Trek The Next Generation number 37, The Last Stand, written by Brad Ferguson. And lastly, Star Trek Spectre, written by William Shatner, which I am led to believe just means that William Shatner came up with some wild science fiction idea, and then an actual writer took that idea and turned it into a novel for him, and then William Shatner put his name on the byline. Judging from what people have told me, that's how it works. I don't think William Shatner was an actual science fiction writer. But we got Captain Picard, we got Captain Kirk on the front, and then I'm assuming that's the evil mirror universe version of Spock in the background. So yeah, that could be interesting. Once again, big shout out to Tim Sr. Thank you, Dad. I appreciate you so much. Fueling my book addiction. The rest of these are books that I picked up from Goodwill a few days ago. The first 2 are by Andre Norton. Some of you might roll your eyes at that. I've heard she's good, though. I've heard that Andre Norton wrote some good stuff. She just also wrote a lot of books, so her good stuff is kind of few and far between. But hopefully I pick some winners. And they are these old-school ace paperbacks, the short, stumpy aces, as Jake from Pulp Mortem would call them. And I don't usually find those out in the wild. The first one is Galactic Derelict. I looked on the back of this and saw that it was actually the sequel to another Andre Norton novel, The Time Traders, which is also in my collection, so I thought that was pretty cool. I really, really like the front cover, but as you can see, I had a heck of a time removing some of these Goodwill stickers from the covers. I am starting to believe that whoever is in charge of making these Goodwill stickers, or placing them on the books at least, is out to ruin the lives of book collectors like me. Because not only do they put them on the front cover, wrapped around on the spine, whatever goes into the make of these stickers is some seriously powerful magic. They are so much more resistant than normal stickers. It doesn't matter how hard you blast them with a hairdryer. It doesn't matter how much Goo Gone you rub on them. You are going to damage your book when you take a Goodwill sticker off of it. It's just unavoidable at this point. The second Andre Norton is the Sioux Spaceman. It might be a little politically incorrect, but again, it is an awesome cover right there. Just look at that helmet. That's some serious Hawkman action going on. And then we have some film novelizations. The first one is Hook.
Looky, looky, I got hooky.
Yeah, it's a novelization of Hook by Terry Brooks, of all people. It says right in the cover, by the best-selling author of The Druid of Shannara. I guess that was the Shannara book that came out at the time. Based on a screenplay by Jim V. Hart and Malia Scotch Marmo, and a screen story by Jim V. Hart and Nick Castle. That Nick Castle? No way. That is a big if true right there. Oh, what's this? Oh, we also have some full color pictures on the inside, some screen grabs from the movie. There's Dustin Hoffman in his full pirate regalia. I will say, I don't care who disparages this movie. I love Hook. It has just enough of that late 80s, early 90s fantasy movie atmosphere that I can't not love that movie. And despite the fact that it has Robin Williams playing a adult version of Peter Pan, flying around, swinging swords, and making quippy one-liners, the best performances in this movie have always been Dustin Hoffman as Captain Hook and Bob Hoskins as Smee. Those two steal the show for me, at least.
Don't ever frighten me like that again. I'm sorry. Well, are you some kind of a sadist? I'm sorry. How's you feel now? I want to die. Oh, no. There's no adventure here. You call this no adventure? Death is the only great adventure I have left me. Come on, let's get you into bed.
The next film novelization is X-Men.
X-Men!
Yeah, this is a novelization of the first Fox X-Men movie. A novelization by Christine Catherine Roosh and Dean Wesley Smith. Man, it took two authors to write a novelization for X-Men.
X-Men!
I wonder how they approached that one scene.
Do you know what happens to a toad when it's struck by lightning? The same thing that happens to everything else.
Late 90s, early 2000s Halle Berry. Anyway, moving on. On a more literary note, I did also pick up a copy of Animal Farm by George Orwell, the same guy who wrote 1984. And even though I have not read the book, again, I did see both of the movies as a kid. And I can attest that it is just as political, if not more so, than 1984. If you don't know Animal Farm, it is basically a short little novella about a group of farm animals who rise up and overthrow their farmer and try to run the farm by themselves. And it's basically a big allegory for the rise and fall of communism in Stalin's Russia in the 1940s. So even though I'm sure I'll enjoy reading this book, I will probably never do a review of it here on the channel, just because I don't like talking about politics here on YouTube. I like to think that Secret Fire Books is a place where people can get together and discuss books regardless of their political leanings, whether you're a Democrat or a Republican, whether you're a liberal or a conservative, whether you're a communist or someone who has a functioning brain. And speaking of dictators from the 1940s, I also picked up a Choose Your Own Adventure book. This is Choose Your Own Adventure number 38, Sabotage. And we got some decidedly off-brand looking villains looming in the background there. This is a Choose Your Own Adventure book where you play, it says, in 1942, you are the leader of a team of French resistance fighters. Your mission, rescue two people whom the Nazis have held captive in a castle high in the Alps. So yeah, this is a Choose Your Own Adventure book where you fight Nazis. Oh yeah. Oh, look at that. Oh, this is going to be awesome. I can't wait to flip through this. I also picked up one of the Time Machine books. That was sort of an offshoot of the Choose Your Own Adventure series, as I understand it. This is Time Machine number 1, Secrets of the Night. And it says right on the front cover, "This book is a time machine. Travel back 600 years and become a knight." Yes, please. Absolutely. Yep, we got an equipment page showing you your arms and armor that you'll be using. More of these nice little black and white illustrations, as per usual with these adventure game books. Yeah, I'm really excited to flip through these. Now, I know I said in a previous book haul that I didn't think I would ever go out of my way to buy any of the Harry Potter books, but I saw this sitting next to those Choose Your Own Adventure books, and I thought, how did that get here? This is Harry Potter and the Philosopher's Stone. That's right, this is the UK edition, the original UK edition of Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone, as it's called here in America. Because as I learned several years ago, and this ticked me off and annoyed me to no end when I learned this little factoid. Apparently, when the Harry Potter books were first being published and Scholastic was handling the publishing here in the US, they wanted to change the name of Book 1 because, according to them, American children wouldn't know what a philosopher was. Now, maybe as a kid I was just an advanced reader, maybe I was just a little ahead of the curve, but I'm pretty sure I knew what a philosopher was, and I think that anyone who is old enough and mature enough to read the Harry Potter series could figure out what a philosopher was. So it's always kind of annoyed me that the first book in the series got changed to The Sorcerer's Stone. Even though it is still the Philosopher's Stone, it's still about, Nicholas Flamel creating the Philosopher's Stone and cracking the secret to eternal life and all that. But yeah, and it's in fairly good condition. It's not too roughed up. It's got a little creasing on the spine there. But otherwise, it's in pretty darn condition. So this will be replacing the ratty old copy of Sorcerer's Stone that I picked up from another donation some time ago. And lastly, I got really excited about this. I totally forgot that these even existed, or at least that they were translated into English. This is Vampire Hunter D, Demon Death Chase. This is the third book in a series of Japanese light novels. They are the source material for the Vampire Hunter D franchise. The first book was made into a movie back in, I want to say, the early 90s. I don't exactly know what year it came out. And that movie is fun. It's of its time. It's very tropey, but it's a fun little animated movie. This book, which is the third book in the series, was adapted into another movie called Vampire Hunter D Bloodlust, which, if you don't know Bloodlust, it is one of the greatest animated films ever made. It is amazing. If you want, you can actually watch it for free here on YouTube. Just look up Vampire Hunter D Bloodlust. There's at least 3 different accounts that have the full movie up. Yeah, it's a fantastic action-adventure gothic fantasy story about a vampire killing other vampires, and he's competing with this other group of vampire hunters who drive around in a tank that has these giant crosses emblazoned on the side to ward off all the vampires. It has these spotlights that shoot these big cross-shaped beams of light that destroy all of the vampires and ghouls and undead that it comes across. And I don't know if the book is similar, but I do know that this is the book that inspired that movie. So I'll have to check it out. I think I might save this for one of my Halloween reads. Yeah, I don't know. Obviously, it was translated from Japanese into English, but Virgil from Literally Books has talked about this series in the past and says that the English editions actually hold up pretty well. So yeah, I'll have to check that out. Well, that's all the books I have for now, guys. Let me know in the comments, have you read any of these books? What did you think of them? Whatever the case, I hope you'll join me in my next video. Until then, as always, farewell and keep reading.
My life is over. Does that mean you've lost your appetite?
Yes.
Goodbye.